I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Beaumont Curling Club. We're following the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series for the women's majors, and we'll be following the semifinal, which has Team Wang versus Team Cameron. Team Wang, obviously from China, playing out of Beijing, and Team Cameron playing out of Manitoba, St. Adolphe. And we're watching the game start here in sheet 2. We're watching Team Wang's lead, Ying Yang, throwing her first stone. Draw into the house. Meanwhile, Mackenzie Elias from Team Cameron had already thrown a guard. She throws her second stone of this first end. I'm yet to introduce my commentator, Rory McCusker. Hi, Rory.
Hey, very nice to meet you, and it's very refreshing to have a delightful Portuguese accent and commentator join us on Curling Stadium Live. Curling Stadium Live going worldwide. Love it.
That's right. I actually didn't introduce myself, which was a mistake. So I'm sorry, everyone. My name is the hardest name you'll hear today. So it's Joao Cardoso. And as Rory so rightly put it, I'm commentating out of Lisbon in Portugal. Whilst we see Ying Yang throwing her second stone. A hit. I think both teams are studying the ice at this moment. What do you think, Rory?
Yeah, I mean, we have our center guard, which is always delightful for a curling fan to see. It means we might have some more action in the first end. The way curling has been trending is definitely towards more action, not less. Just 10 or 15 years ago, it used to be almost automatic that the first end would be rocks in the rings, exchanging hits the whole end. But now we're getting closer and closer to that 50% of the time. There will be a guard thrown and thus inviting some offense in the first end. So it's just fun to track these trends as they make their way through the curling game.
Well, I was thinking one other factor might be the fact that Team Cameron has played quite a few games on this ice this weekend, whilst Tim Wang, well, I think they've only played 3. And you can correct me on that. You are the man with the spreadsheets.
As I commentate this game, I am also operating the cameras and scoreboard and doing all that good stuff. So it actually the scheme of the draw and the tournament does get away from me a little bit. I don't pay as much attention to exactly who's what and where. And you know what? As we operate the cameras and the scoreboards, we often joke with each other that, I just operated for a whole curling game, but I don't even know one thing that happened. I couldn't. Sometimes I forget who even won the game.
Well,
You get so distracted with the technical ins and outs of what we're doing behind
well,
the scenes.
Rory, don't worry. I'll tell you who wins this one. As we see Team Cameron taking out the stone that Ziki Dong, the second out of Team Wang, had thrown. And we're now watching. We're going to go into the skip stones. No, the backhand stones for Team Cameron next up, but still we have Yu Han from Team Wang throwing her last stone. No, actually, Ziki Dong, sorry. Yeah, she is the second.
Lots of fun names today,
Yeah,
including your own.
tough names as well. Well, the Canadian ones are easy. The Chinese ones, not so much.
You know what?
There you go. We go into the back end.
You'd think they're easier, but I have found a way to screw them up all the same.
This one is easy enough. Taylor McDonald. She is the third of Team Cameron. She is throwing for what I think is a hit. Yeah, confirmed.
Lots of curl on these hits this week. In fact, if I were to characterize this tournament and the ice in Beaumont with one outlying factor, it is the stones are very grabby. They curl a lot no matter which direction you're throwing them. Especially accentuated on outside in hits, but really a tough ice to hit and roll on to make specific downweight hits has been quite a challenge.
And as I said previously, here is Yu Han. So she's the third out of Team Wang. And trying the hit and roll, not rolling enough. Still completely open. Again, Team Wang with the hammer in this first end. So we'll see what happens. Second stone for Taylor McDonald.
Well, Joao, you said that your name was going to be the hardest to pronounce today, and I thought to myself, well, we have a Chinese team that we're commentating here. Are you really going to is it really going to be more difficult than 4 Chinese women? But so far, you're right. Yours is the hardest.
Mine is the hardest. It has the weirdest sound. Joao. Oh, it's very tough. And we're going to be seeing Team Wang trying to hit that guard.
Yeah, they've been waiting all end for Team Cameron to roll out on one of their hits.
They
so
have.
They can continue this sort of conservative start to the game, and they'll make good on this peel.
And this one was the last stone, I think, from Yu Han. So we'll go into the skip stones with Kate Cameron throwing your first. We already have, I believe it's Taylor McDonald in the house with her broom, holding the broom, and Kate Cameron getting ready.
It's been a long journey for curling. It's always been an international sport, but Canadian teams enjoyed quite a bit of dominance in both the men's and women's side for so long. And then, slowly but surely, some top teams from other countries came and changed that narrative quite a bit. We think of the great Scottish teams, the kind of resurgence of the high-performance Scottish program. We've seen recently John Schuster of the United States winning the Olympics in 2018. Japanese teams, getting stronger and stronger every year, not just one team, many, many teams coming out of the country of Japan. The Chinese curling scene has usually revolved around the Olympics, the Olympic competitions, and a skip by the name of Rui Wang a number of years ago showed Canadians that Chinese curling can be top tier, top performance. But then as the Olympic funding faded for the Chinese program, as did the top athletes. So it has been a little while since we've seen a top performing Chinese team in the 4-person curling sphere. But as we know, the next Olympic event, the next Winter Olympics, will be in China. So expect to see at least 1 or 2 high-performing Chinese teams in both the men's and women's field.
Well, I think the last time that China won the Women's Worlds was, and I'm checking the spreadsheet right now, whilst we see Rui Wang throwing her first stone, a hit, and going into the Women's Worlds, as I was saying, China won it in 2009, and I happen to be good friends with the manager, or the coach, who was actually a Portuguese Canadian born in Montreal. So Daniel Rafael was their coach at that time. So 2009, last time that China won the Worlds, and it was the women's Worlds. We'll see.
Very
We'll
good
see
stat.
what happens in 2026 in Cortina, because you were saying that next Olympics are going to be in China. No, those were the last Olympics. The next ones are in Italy. So any Italian friends listening, hey, we know it's Cortina.
Yes. My apologies. My apologies. Do we know where the 2030 Winter Olympics will be?
We do. It's the French Alps. They haven't specified exactly where in the French Alps, but hey, surely we'll find a venue for curling in France. And we even know the ones after that. It's Utah. It's going to be Salt Lake again. Oh yeah.
That's right. That's right. I've got some reading to do.
Oh, you have time. The next ones are in 2026, but the ones after that, 2030, if I'm not mistaken. So, another hit and a blank. And we'll have a blank end opening the first end. And Rory, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have commercials for the good people who are following this game.
We do indeed.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Well, we're back, and I'm going to... And we're back. Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Majors. Beaumont Curling Club. And we're following the Wang versus Cameron semi-final here on sheet 2. First end, blank end. Second end, we open with Mackenzie Elias throwing a draw into the house. We have a rock on top of the 12-foot, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go with Yin Yang throwing their first zone in this second end. Wang retaining hammer for this second end after blanking the first. Oh, and this is going to almost be a corner guard. Yeah, not bad. What do you think, Rory? What would you do in this situation?
Was that the call? Were they calling a corner guard?
I don't know if that was the call, but that is
It
the
must have
outcome.
been.
So you work what you get.
Well,
Not what
it's
you
funny.
want.
The original purpose of a corner guard was to stay out of the draw path while protecting a wing of the house. Now with how much the ice curls in many of these clubs, especially here in Beaumont, it's just not possible to stay out of the way of the draw path. A corner guard is almost always going to be in the way of that draw path to the button to the 4-foot. So when you throw a corner guard, you are saying I need to keep the middle clear if I'm ever going to use this guard.
Now we'll see if Team Wang here tries to go around. I guess she's asking for the hit and roll.
I think there's just enough room to pull that off, but
Yeah,
This-
maybe.
appears to be draw ice.
Maybe. Maybe she's
And
asking
not
for
a
the draw
lot.
instead, but that's not a lot of ice.
Sorry for the camera switching there, but
That's okay.
I was very interested to see how Wang's team would throw this rock with that ice it's given, and they did have a bit of an inside-out sort of release.
It needs to slow down. It needs to go. Yeah, it. And now it should stop. Stop. And it bites the 12-foot.
So
Well,
that was slightly
they
slightly
got their shots
irregular.
done. So they got their shots done. So it's not the end of the world. But we'll see what Team Cameron does next. I think they're going around. Yeah. So we see Kate Cameron giving the indication to Mackenzie Elias. No, actually, Brianna Cullen. So she's the second in this team. She's going to go around the guard and try to get something. I suppose it's in the top of the 4. That's what they're calling.
A slightly irregular setup here. It's many times we've seen center guard, corner guard come around, and that's a typical start to the end. This time we've seen it in a sort of slightly strange order. We have one in the top 12, then a corner guard. Then we saw our center guard, well made, and then a draw around the corner guard in a slightly strange draw path. So the stagger of these stones is just not quite normal, not what you'd normally see.
I would expect Team Wang now to start opening up the middle, and I think that's exactly the call. Rui Wang, the skip of this team. And she's asking Ziki Dong a hit for a takeout. Can they get 3? They can. They get 2. And, well, the other one ends up biting the 4-foot on the left. Well, right if you're looking at the image on the left, and left if you're looking at the topside view.
Well, you know what? That has been a discussion on the technical side of things, us at Curling Stadium. Should we flip the overhead view? Should we mirror the left and right so the colors correspond with your eye view of your left and right? Here, I'll show it again. But
Well,
we've experimented with this, and we have decided no, it's best to just give the regular view. You're breaking something called the 180-degree rule that we would talk about in television, but it's just too confusing to warp reality and expect the audience to understand what's up and down, left and right.
yeah, that better leave it as it is and have the audience figure it out. And now we have Ziki Dong's last stone in the second end. She's trying to curl behind their own guard.
So the
line
counter
looks good, but the weight
count-
is
the counter-
ahead. Sorry,
I'm going off topic, but just to speak about the mirroring thing for a second, when you see in curling clubs, when you look down at the other end, oftentimes there will be a big reflecting mirror, so the audience in the warm room can see a little bit of better view of the house. In other clubs, there's a camera at the other end and a screen that you can look at. So these two differences, it's there's no exact consensus on what's better, but either way, it's just fun to think about.
And we're looking at the back end stone. So Taylor McDonald on the Team Cameron side.
Pretty good opportunity for Team Cameron to take that one spot away from Team Wang. There's really only one good spot for a rock around this guard. It's in that top 4 foot, top button depth.
He needs to
And-
curl a lot. A lot of work by Mackenzie Elias and Brianna Cullen here in the sweeping. And they got it. I guess if you are Han, you can still see that, right?
Yeah, you're kind of running out of rocks to make that back red count. And I think at this point, with 4 rocks to come for Team Wang, you're not really thinking, oh, we're going to score that stone in the back of the rings. I think you're trying to build a new scenario, a new way to score multiple points, using the recently thrown Cameron stone as backing.
Maybe freeze to that. Yep. That seems to be the indication. Rui Wang is asking. See if Han can deliver. Oh, but as in opposition to the stone that we just saw from Team Cameron, this one is curling a lot. And it's going to freeze, yes, but not to the right stone as one would expect. So Team Cameron still shot, and now they can build something here.
Yeah, if it was much earlier in the end, you could say, if you're Team Wang, okay, well, it's not so bad. These rocks will be rearranged, and maybe we can bring that one into the conversation. But, geez, with only 3 more rocks to come from Team Wang, it's hard to see them making use of that recently thrown rock. And that overcurl, like you said, is going to more or less just act as a as backing.
And
Once
here we
again,
go.
though, needs a lot of curl.
But we've seen them getting the curl they need in these last few meters. Yeah, perfect. Perfect throw by Taylor McDonald on their second stone.
You know, it's quite good, but it just didn't curl quite enough. So we can see from the straight on view.
Oh yeah, you're right.
from this view here, that there is going to be a sort of rearranging that Team Wang's going to be able to bump the back yellow even further into the back 8 foot, spring the top yellow more into the open, and get themselves a nice little hiding spot behind that corner guard. But, and this is a big but, we are running out of time here. There is that yellow stone on the other side of the 4 foot that still needs to move.
We'll see if Han can deliver this time. She's unaffected by the last shot. This time a hit is required. The line seems good, needs to curl a bit. Oh, not too bad. But the situation remains. But they've moved the Cameron stone inside the 4 foot. So.
Yeah, here's the good news for Team Wang. Even though their plan of sort of building a multi-score end along the wing hasn't really worked out, they're in no danger of having a super difficult shot on their last one. The path to the button is still fairly open. As it stands right now, they're going to have a pretty straightforward shot to score a single point here in the second end. So not really any reason to panic. Maybe some reason to be disappointed that they didn't make their corner guard setup work, but the danger is not very high for Team Wang right now.
Second end still, Rory. A lot of curling left. If they have to take their one, they will. If Team Cameron leaves them an opportunity to score 2, they will. Or they might. Let's put it that way. See, try to figure out what Kate Cameron is going to do here. Looks like she's playing the hit.
Yeah, really only one thing to do here, and that's continue to remove red. With no center guard, it's pretty difficult to think of anything but force. So You know, they'll try to make Wang throw against multiple, see if they'll get a half make or a miss out of her, but the shots should be pretty straightforward from here on out. Oh, looks like a bit of a frozen camera on the away end. We'll have to just imagine Kate Cameron's slide for now.
And we have the hit incoming, and it's going to be good. It doesn't.
Oh.
Well, it actually stays in the house, biting the 12-foot.
Yeah, a bit of a mistake though. If Wang can ever move these two stones out of nowhere, you're gonna lie too.
We'll see. Not an easy shot though.
No, very flat that angle.
She needs to hit it just right. We'll see if Rui Wang can do it. So you're saying we have a frozen camera on the delivery side, so we'll just have to imagine. And we can hear it. So the slide is taking place. We're about to see the sweepers. And this needs to, the line needs to be perfect, that it's curling too much. Over curling, and well, not a terrible outcome, but they will have to expect an error from Kate Cameron here to score anything but one. We'll see. Some debate going on, but it's going to be a draw. Trying to freeze it to the Chinese or the Team Wang stone.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really your only option.
Anything that's not a good freeze or that stays a bit off to the center might leave an opportunity for Team Wang, but not easy.
Now, the only thing you can't do here is bounce off that stone and perhaps leave that same double. I know it would be quite flat, but it would be for 3. Finishing light as well, not a great option. Leaving any kind of angle that's going to leave a double.
Oh, and this needs to curl a lot. Brianna Cullen and Mackenzie Elias waiting for instructions to sweep. We see Mackenzie Elias sweeping. Oh, and it needs to stop there, and it does, but it does not freeze to the corner, and there is a shot for 3. Again, not easy.
She is going to have to absolutely rifle this thing. Throw it a million miles an hour, but as long as she touches the second yellow stone, looks like 2 feet's going to do the trick.
Could be.
It is there. Slightly risky though.
But if she misses, is a steal of 2.
Just an update on the camera situation. We are working behind the scenes to see if we can get that thing back online.
We can hear the stone being thrown. The line looks good.
This is close.
It's close. It's going to be close. 1, 2, and is it enough for 2? Maybe. Well, 1 for sure. Will it be 2?
That was an incredible effort. A very brave call. In the second end, it's very important to score a single point, so to take that shot on, I'm really impressed.
We'll see. We'll have a measure. Well, Rory, we're being blessed with an interesting game.
Most definitely. That end was very, very interesting. And it started off with those lead stones just a little odd the way they were organized, and both skips willing to play ball, as we would say, and try their luck at getting something going behind their respective guards. So whenever that happens, we're usually going to have an interesting end.
And off we are to the measure. Seeing, looks like it's yellow. Looks like it's just the one. We'll wait for confirmation on this. But it seemed to me like it's just the one for Team Wang.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
All right, we got it back.
Good. Okay, now Q is in. So back to the Wang versus Cameron semi-final of this Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Majors out of Beaumont Curling Club. And we're following Sheet 2. Currently Team Wang up 1 point after a ballsy last rock in the second end. Could have scored 2, but the measure didn't agree, so it was just the 1. And now Team Cameron will have the hammer. You were saying, Rory?
It was a really a brave call from Team Wang, just with how important it is to score a single point in the even ends. Even though there's lots of game left, it's the analytics will show it's every time those even ends kind of cash in, whoever scores greatly affects improves their chances of winning. So to take that shot on, knowing that a likely outcome was rolling the shooter out and not being able to score, it was a brave call. But this is championship curling. It's Championship Sunday, so if you want to win, you're gonna have to play boldly like that. And it was entertaining for us, the audience, to watch them take it on.
And we are watching the second stone from the Team Wang lead, Yin Yang. And right on top of the button. And behind the center guard. So the leads have thrown all their rocks, and now we'll go into the seconds with Brianna Cullen.
Oh, I got a little ahead of myself on the rock tickies. I think this is the last stone from the lead.
There you go. So it's Mackenzie Elias. I stand corrected.
Oh, the graphics betrayed you, Joao.
That you did. Great draw from Mackenzie Elias. Not shot stone, but taking that space for Team Cameron. Top of the 4, no. Top 8, but almost top 4. This is looking
That's-
like a mixed doubles game. Rory.
it is. It's a good start for both teams. No advantage yet. You know, Team Wang happy to bring play to the center, but Team Cameron happy to keep 2 of their rocks in the forefoot. So both teams sensing an opportunity here.
It's exactly as you were saying. Championship Sunday, everybody's taking risks. Yet another draw, this time from Ziki Dong. Team Wang second. And small tap. And it's not a perfect freeze to the corner of Team Cameron's stone on the top 8, but almost perfect.
I think it's a really good angle. It locks away. It's that perfect kind of half rock. There's no option here. Team Cameron's going to have to blast the guard.
And that they do. And we can see Brianna Cullen with the first takeout of this third end, opening up that huge block of granite that we can see within the 8-foot. We're going to be seeing second stone from Ziki Dong. Likely putting the guard back.
See, a major advantage here, though, is that previous guard was real tight to the rings. So if Kate Cameron wanted to run that guard in and make something happen, it was fairly available. It was a short run back. Now, Team Wang will get to reset this guard in a slightly different position. I can see her broom is quite tight to the rings. My thought would be to leave this one a touch higher and make a potential run back that much more difficult.
Exactly, I agree. But Rui Wang does not agree with us. So this is actually going inside the house, but biting the 12-foot. Trying to listen to what Kate Cameron is saying. She's going to try to move something there. And Rory, I'll tell you, sometimes for for me, it's tough to even understand what these teams are trying to go on about, because they all have their own signals and ways to call weight. And sometimes it's not obvious until you see it.
That is so true. And especially these teams that are very committed and have very busy schedules. They've made curling one of the most, if not the most important thing in their life. They have discussed these situations over and over again internally, knowing exactly what their preference is in certain situations. And so it gets to a point where they don't even need to say anything. Sometimes they don't even need to make hand signals. The broom goes down and everybody on the team knows exactly what's expected.
And I think Team Wang here wants to keep some sort of advantage. I don't think she wants to move anything in front of that 4-foot. That might affect her own rock.
Pretty satisfied with the way things are looking right now for Team Wang, although it is getting a little nervy having those Cameron stones stick around.
Well, she's going to move it. We're watching.
Ooh.
And this does not go well. So they hit their own, well, let's call it proto guard, because it was inside the rings. And now Team Cameron, as we say over here, they have the knife and they have the cheese. Let's see what type of slice they cut.
I like that a lot. So even though Team Wang has almost effectively made a shot for the opponent, It's still going to take 2 rocks for Team Cameron to really rearrange this in a beneficial way.
They have to pull off 2 great shots. And Taylor McDonald throwing her first rock here in the third. A draw. And we see immediately Brianna McCullen sweeping that rock. Trying to move things ever so slightly.
I think that's
Team
pretty
Wang
darn
still
good.
shot, but yeah, no more backing. So any touch on that red rock will just push it out of the rings.
Here's why I really like the scenario they've created here. There's no obvious double on the yellow stones. You could make that top double, but there's some risk to that. You might end up removing your own red stone. Even if you do make the double on the top 2 yellows, the red stone will leave the rings. Team Cameron has really given themselves a good scenario in the house. No guards up front. The only thing that Wang has going for them is that they are currently shot rock.
And they're going
Yeah,
to try the double, Rory. They'll try it. And we've seen Wang trying risky things in the second end. And she's calling what I would say is a bit of a risky play, but maybe the only play they have.
Well, the risky, the more aggressive move would be throwing a center guard. Taking these 2 yellow rocks is...
And
oh, there we go.
And it needs to go, and it goes. So 1 red, 1 yellow in the house. Wang, shot stone, but not for long. We'll see.
I'm thinking...
Yeah, go, Rory.
Sorry, John. No, I think I underestimated the makeability of that double. She got that quite thin, and both rocks still left the ring, so that was a more makeable double than anticipated. But still, with no center guards up front, and an opportunity to lie too, Team Cameron pretty happy with how things are shaping up here.
Now it's all about not leaving the double for Taylor McDonald here. She's going to hit it on the nose, more or less. Is there a double?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you'd really want to roll either one way or the other.
Well, the double is there. Now, can Rui Wang make it? That is the other question. We've seen her do a very tough shot on the second end, but must not forget her first skip stone on the second was a bit of a miss. So we'll see how she's doing now on the third. There it goes. Not going to be the double, and Team Cameron thanks that stone is over there, because the double after they take this one out is going to be even tougher.
Geez, just so challenging for rocks that are thrown that hard to still curl that much. It makes it very challenging on the line call and the sweepers to get that right. You can even see the Chinese skip kind of smiling and discussing with her vice back there. I could see her sort of put her palm to her forehead and go, how did that thing curl so much that we missed that double? I agree with them. It's challenging stuff out there.
This ice is curling quite a bit.
Most definitely.
Kate Cameron, her first stone here in the third end, needs to take that red rock out of the rings, and she's playing the hit for that effect. Oh, it needs to stay, and it does. The double is practically impossible, I would say, if not impossible. You'd have
That's
to
what
be a magician here.
That's what we thought last end. And she's still sort of found a way.
Well, she has to try. Is she going to try the double, or is she going to play the safe play to avoid the 3? Well, she's considering it.
Yeah, I mean, you may as well, because if you hit one of these single rocks, you're basically handing two to the opponent. So if she thinks it's at all possible, it's worth taking on.
It is very, I would say it's very hard, because it's a long way to go with speed, and the angle is very shallow.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is there. So it does look like they'll take the shot stone. This way, at least you're forcing Cameron to stick around on her
draw.
next one.
Yeah. They still haven't let that go. Oh, but they're going for it. Okay. Well,
She'll have
this-
to
go,
she'll have
go.
to throw a ton of rotation to get the necessary spring off of this first stone.
Yes, and I think they're missing, as you were saying, and correctly so, I think they're missing an opportunity to test Kate Cameron's draws. And if they miss, and it's curling quite too much, well, they didn't miss, but it was not even close for the double.
Yeah.
Now we have Kate Cameron with a final draw, but she has her own stone as backing. So it's completely different.
Getting outside of tactics for a second, you know, the sort of game within the game, you know, giving Kate Cameron an opportunity to get her draw weight and make sure she understands her slide speed and her release and working with her sweepers, that's an advantage.
Could be. Final rock here in the third end. Draw for 2. Kenzie Elias controlling and sweeping. The line seems perfect, and the weight as well. It's going to stop within the 4 foot, I think. And it does. So that's 2 points for Team Cameron. And Rory, commercials for our viewers.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
And we're back to the Wang versus Cameron semifinal, taking place in Beaumont Curling Club, here in the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series, the Women's Majors. And Rory, we need to update the score. So it's 1 for Team Wang and 2 for Team Cameron. So Team Cameron is currently in the lead
Yes,
when we
indeed.
are starting the 4th end. And we are starting with a draw to Inside the House by Mackenzie Elias. And off air, we were debating on the performance of these two teams. Team Wang, a bit surprising in their approach to some of these shots, especially in the back end shots. Team Cameron, well, I would say they have a plan and they're working through it. What would you say, Rory?
Yeah, the start of the ends have made a lot of sense. I've been questioning some of Wang's calls during the middle of the ends. The first one we questioned was a flat double in the second end, and she justified that decision by nearly making it. It was almost a shot for 2. But since then, we've seen some sort of dreamy calls. I would say some chasing perfection where I don't really think it was there.
And here we see yin yang, and not to say that I don't agree, I do agree with what you're saying, Rory. And we're seeing Team Wang here starting with a corner guard again. They have the hammer in this 4th end. Hopefully trying, well, they would be hoping to score at least 2. Team Cameron obviously will have something to say about that. And oh, this guard curls a bit too much and does not cover Team Cameron's rock in the button. And we'll see if Yin Yang can do the hit and roll here.
Always fun as a lead, being trusted to make a hit and roll. Usually your shots are all soft weight, so to get that hit and roll opportunity as a lead, you really want to nail it.
Oh, and it's maybe
A little bit of a freeze.
well, it's for the suspense. The audience at home will have enjoyed that. She does do the hit, but it doesn't roll all the way back to the guard. It stays somewhere between the 2 guards. And we'll now have a hit and roll game where Mackenzie Elias with her second stone is going to try. Well, actually, this would be Brianna Cullen with her first.
Yes.
She does the hit, and it also actually rolls a bit too much.
Just going back a little bit, here's what I really like about Team Wang's corner guard. We'll get the overhead view. It's very tight to the rings. It's splittable. It's out of the way of a draw to the button if necessary. It's not going to get in the way of Team Wang scoring 1 to tie the game, which is what is necessary. So I thought that was really good placement of the corner guard.
Here we're watching Ziki Dong with her second stone. And, well, actually her first. And here is a hit, trying to roll, but it needs to curl more, and it doesn't, so it rolls even wider. So we now have only 1 stone within the rings, and it's biting the 8-foot on the left side.
Neither team with a distinct advantage yet. There's a center guard for Team Cameron. There's a corner guard for Team Wang. It's either team is sort of either waiting for a miss or waiting for them to make that perfect roll. So they'll trade hits until that happens.
This almost looks like a nose hit, but it's not. And so Team Wang here will have an opportunity to draw behind one of the guards. Hopefully, I think ideally their own.
And here we go. Here's another dreamy call from Skip Wang. She
Oh,
wants to split this rock into the rings. They're considering it anyway.
Must be something. It would be one of the shots of this tournament, that's for sure. But The question that I ask myself is, do you actually need this at this moment, Miss Wang?
It's fun for us. We know that for sure.
Oh yeah, no, Rory, for the viewer and especially the neutral viewer, this is top. There we go. But nonetheless, this falls down to Ziki Dong. She's the one who's going to have to execute whatever Rui Wang is thinking. I think she's going to ask for the draw behind the guard. But that's not a lot of ice, so maybe.
No, this is ice for the split. I can almost guarantee it. The way that she was lining up that stone.
Well,
Woohoo!
there we
Cowboy
go.
curling. Wild West.
Needs to curl. The line looks good, Rory.
I think it's a little too thick. Let's see if they can hold it.
And it does hit. Does it stay in the rings? It does.
Beautiful.
Hey, it worked.
Ah,
What a shot.
excellent.
Just
And
not
even-
perfect because it's not completely behind the guard, but
Oh,
they're more
man.
or less leveled. Amazing.
No, that's to make that split without leaving a double. That's a 100% shot right there.
Amazing.
It
Well-
completely changes the complexion of the end.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen a great shot here. It was worth tuning in for this.
Yes. Yo, I had seen this team winning games, and I saw the Wang name moving up and up in the standings, but I haven't actually watched them yet, and it's been a treat. I can't wait to watch more games from this team.
Well, they've played 3 games. They won 7-3 against Hartwell, then 9-3 against Yoshimura, and then 8-2 against Silvernagel. So, well, we'll see how this one ends up. And as I was saying this, Team Cameron just removed Team Wang's stone from within the 4th foot, but most importantly, the shutter didn't stick. So now Team Wang has an opportunity to draw behind the guard,
going,
but I don't
well,
think
they're
they're doing that.
they're not doing that, Joao. They are going outside the box once again, making us look silly in what we think that they're going to do. They're splitting the rings, daring Kate Cameron to use her center guard.
There we go. There they go. Well, I
Like,
always
actually-
like these games where we can't foresee what's happening.
Yeah. You know, I actually kind of like this the more I think about it.
There you
It's
go.
a little early to go behind the center guard. So let's say Wang goes behind the center guard. Kate Cameron hits the open stone. Wang responds. There would be a chance for Cameron to make a freeze or a tap or some kind of shot around the center guard that would really take the big end away. So I think if we were on skip stones, we may have seen Wang come around the center guard, but just a little too early right now. And I think I agree with that.
Rory, now I think Kate Cameron is asking here is for a removal of the stone that is biting the 12. I don't know, and I can't see right now the top vision to see if they're going to even try the. And it's close, but it's not there. No. And the shooter goes all the way around, and now we'll see Team Wang place yet another stone in the rings. Again, trying not to leave a double.
I think the decision there was based more on can we get a roll behind the center guard if we hit this outside one?
But definitely Team Wang taking the initiative. And they really want their 2. Yu Han throwing her second shot of this 4th end. A draw to the left side of the house. And this, I believe, is going to end somewhere within the 8 foot.
Trying to
Bottom
keep
8.
these even.
Biting the 8, more or less on the 12. This gives opportunity to Team Cameron to freeze on either one, and that would complicate things, especially if they froze to the rock biting the 8-footer. See what Kate Cameron does here. As we go into the skip stones. So, Rory, what would be your approach here if you were Kate Cameron?
Well, they're playing a hit and roll, aren't they? I mean, the broom is being held in the center of the 12-foot, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, they're not going for the freeze right now.
Like, is this a draw around the center guard?
Makes some sense. So if they were to try the freeze and not nail it, they could potentially be facing 3.
Well, I think the decision here is to either continue to hit or to use the center guard. They've chosen to use the center guard, and I'll go back to Team Wang's call on the third's first stone to not go around the center guard and instead go to the wing. They were basically daring Kate Cameron to make this call, and Kate has said, "I'll bite." And in an attempt to save the 4th end, she is going to risk giving up 3 or more.
If this isn't perfect, it stops in the button, in the bottom side of the button, but most importantly, it seems to be well guarded.
It is, but with the way that this ice is curling, Joao, I gotta think that a hack weight shot is available to lie 3.
We'll see.
That was a brave call. Kate has been watching Team Wang make brave call after brave call, and she may have got sucked into it herself. That was also quite uncharacteristic of not only Kate Cameron, but a Manitoba team in general. I feel like they weren't giving up any more than 2 if they just kept hitting and replacing. So I'm a little taken aback by that call by Kate Cameron.
Here we go. First stone for Rui Wang in this 4th end. And she's definitely trying. Oh, but this needs to curl a lot. I think she's going to hit it. She does. And now Team Wang is lying 3. But again, the same shot is available for Kate Cameron.
Yeah, but I mean, I think we just learned that there's no such thing as hiding behind that guard, because Wang was by that guard by many inches and still got enough of the stone to stick around the rings with a lot of weight. So that draw around the center guard, you can't hide back there.
Maybe the guard is a bit too high. If she can try to place her stone on top 8, maybe.
Yeah, you'd be a little better off there, but with this chance to kind of backpedal on her previous call, she's going to be able to make a double, and the same results will be achieved. It'll be a shot for 2 for Team Wang, and she'll kind of get away with one there, is what I would think.
They could still, well, I think maybe the force could have been there had Team Cameron tried the freeze. This time they would have 2 stones there. Might be easier. But I guess they're playing the safer option.
Another option is to hit and roll on top of the other stones. So you kind of get best of both worlds type thing.
Yes. Well, hit, rolls out, but 1 stays. If I'm not mistaken. No, 2 go out. So it's going to be a draw for 2 for Rui Wang. Actually, is the shooter still biting? Yes, the shooter is still biting. But beyond the, well, Wang is shot stone, so it doesn't really matter.
Not that it particularly matters, Joao, but there was a bit of a mistake there. A rock came off the boards and redirected the red stone. That red stone, it should actually be out of the rings. They should be removing that.
Well, they left it there.
It shouldn't matter, but It's just a little something that we notice.
It's going to be a draw for 2 here for Team Wang. Rui Wang. And she puts her hands in her pockets as if to say, my job here is done. Go and sweep my rock, yin yang. And it does stop in the rings, and it's 2 for Team Wang. So they take the lead back as we go into the mid-game break. And Rory, please show our viewers the commercials.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline, join the revolution.
Too.
Yeah.
Well, are we going back already?
Well, I think the teams are taking a little break, so may as well
No.
roll some more ads.
We can.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
So, are we back this time?
Yes.
I guess we are. So, welcome back to our viewers. We're watching the Wang Cameron semifinal here in Curling Stadium. And this is the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Majors. And it's taking place at the Beaumont Curling Club here in Alberta. So, here with me, I have Rory McCusker. My name is Trickiest One You'll Get. So, Joao Cardoso, and we're back for the second half. Another 4 ends of curling, where we have Team Wang leading 3 points to 2, and Team Cameron obviously only the 2, but Team Cameron has the hammer for this 5th end. So Rory, a lot to look forward in these next 4 ends.
Yeah, it's your classic near tie game scenario with the team trailing by 1 having hammer. So I'm sure we'll see some interesting moves.
And we're We've seen Yin Yang from Tim Wang placing a center guard, and now we're going to be watching Mackenzie Elias trying to. Will they put a corner guard, or will they come around? Looks like they're doing a corner guard. Is it heavy though? It is a bit heavy. It goes into the rings and it ends up, I think it's in the 4th foot.
I'm pretty sure that was a draw around the center. They just got it a little wide.
Right you are. And so we will try, well, we'll see an attempt at a hit and roll. And again, we'll see Tim Wang's lead, Yin Yang, trying a hit and roll, which is the 2nd time, I think, in this game. I think the 4th end also started this way. Needs to curl. Oh, that's going to be nose hit. And now we'll see Mackenzie Elias attempting to do the same thing. Seeing her slide right now. Stone delivered. Oh, but it's not curling.
Yeah, neither team really being able to make the move to the 4-foot.
And so, yet again, we'll see an attempt at a hit and roll. This time it needs to roll a bit more. We're seeing Rui Wang with the broom, giving some indications to Ziki Dong, her 2nd.
I think that's my favorite name on the ice right now, Ziki Dong.
She delivers this stone. Will it curl? And will it roll? Well, didn't roll all that much. So the search for the the hit and roll continues. With both teams trying it unsuccessfully so far. And now it's Brianna Cullen's time. Or turn. There it goes.
I feel for these teams. It is so challenging to make a hit and roll.
Yep, not curling enough. Will it stay in the rings? It does. I think it's biting the 12.
Although we should keep in mind for the Cameron team, keeping things away from that center guard is a good thing.
Yes.
Rolling out to the wing could have easily been the call.
For them, it's okay. Although I would think they would prefer to have at least something inside the house a bit more covered at this moment. But if they have to score the 1 just to tie the game, they will. And now it is the last stone for your favorite athlete here, Ziki Dong. She does hit it on the right place, but it doesn't roll. But Team Wang here trying to get the game to come next, closer, ever so closer to the center, where they have their guard. Last stone for Brianna Cullen. Also going to be a nose hit. So we're starting the 5th end with a very interesting duel of hits. And now we go into the back end. So Kate Cameron and Taylor McDonald for Team Cameron, and Rui Wang and Yu Han for Team Wang. And we're starting with Yu Han throwing her first stone. Oh, and this shooter is it going to stay? Does barely?
Yeah,
Rory.
it's kind of the angle of the camera. I think that is in, even though we can see some white. We would think by Kate's call here of peeling the guard that rock has left the rings.
Yes, it is no longer in the ring, so we'll be seeing Kate Cameron asking Taylor McDonald to hit this guard. You can see Brianna Cullen sweeping. The guard is hit. Shooter also leaves, so we have the house completely open for the last 6 stones.
Holy mackerel, this call. So instead of replacing the center guard, okay, she's come around. Her initial call was to corner freeze the rock on the side of the 12-foot. I'm just so thrilled by this skip and the calls she's making.
Well, she's sometimes throwing caution out in the wind.
To our delight, Johan.
Yes, not this time though. This time I think we're going to be watching the reposition of a guard, but it needs to get there, and it's not going to go into the center line though.
Well, that may have missed enough that Kate could take on a draw around, but Kate knows she wants to score next end. She wants to score in the all-important 6th, and will not be tempted.
Yeah, she's in a good position to blank this 5th end. I believe that's the goal. Get into the 6 with hammer, score 2. That guard is taken out, and we'll see. We're getting into the skip stones now, and we'll have Rui Wang throwing her first stone of the 5th. As she prepares to do so. I think for Team Wang right now, Rory, all they can hope for is some kind of miss by Kate Cameron. And obviously they need to fulfill their part of the game and hope that Kate Cameron does some sort of miss for Kate Cameron. Just take out all of the stones. And we were talking of misses. Here's one by Rui Wang.
Losing focus a little bit. It has been a bit of a snoozer end and not a lot of action. I've noticed that Team Wang plays pretty quick. They get in the hack and they throw their rock quite quick. And without that consistent discussion, sweeper to thrower, it's easy to lose focus. And it looks like 2 shots in a row there, they did lose focus.
So what will Kate Cameron do to take advantage of this situation? And it seems to me like she's going to get something inside the rings, inside the house. You see Taylor McDonald holding the broom. And here we see Brianna Cullen and Mackenzie Elias sweeping. The line seems to be good, and so says Taylor McDonald. And needs to stop. It does. So this leaves Rui Wang with only one shot. Well, and then again, we don't really know Rory because this skip, she does unorthodox things sometimes.
You never quite know.
Well, if we follow the the orthodox approach, she will hit this rock and have her own sit in the house for Kate Cameron to hit, and then hopefully hoping for a miss by Kate Cameron, leaving the shooter in, so there's a force. Kate Cameron will likely hope to blank this end.
These are big shots. You've tactically played the whole end to have this shot in front of you. It's really important that you make it. We saw earlier Kate Cameron not draw around we're not going to call it a corner guard, but a slightly off-center guard. Could have easily figured out a way to get two, but chose not to. So very important to make these shots.
Last stone, last rock for the fifth end. Kate Cameron needs to hit and roll out to have the blank. Anything other than that, it's likely a force. But it is not, and it's going to be a blank end. So, Rory, we have 3 ends of excitement left, and our good viewers have some commercials to watch before we start the 6th end.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline, join the revolution.
Gripper first.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on up. Okay, well, what do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Issue. It's just for. And here we go. So, Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Majors, and we're watching the semi-final that is opposing Team Wang to Team Cameron. Right now, Team Wang in the lead, 3-2, but Team Cameron has just blanked the 5th end, so we'll be seeing an interesting 6th end where Team Cameron will have the hammer, and they will want to hurt Team Wang. Well, not physically hurt them, of course. I mean, they want to score 2 or more. And we're watching the second stone of this end being thrown. Team Wang already with a center guard, and we're watching Mackenzie Elias throw her first, trying to come around. And this is a better opening than last time, Rory.
Yeah, I think we're going to see some excitement here. It is the 6th end. Scoreboard's yet to update, but Cameron down 1 will really do her best to score here.
They have to. If otherwise, they'll probably face a situation where they'll have to be scoring 2 or 3 in the 8th. And that's never a good good thing. But let's focus on what's happening right now. And right now we have Yin Yang playing a hit. It does hit. As you have been saying in other ends, this ice is curling quite a bit. And no rock is truly hidden when the ice is curling this much.
Really key aspect of this end is Team Wang's guard is quite high, so it's going to be possible to do most of whatever you want to a single stone behind that guard. In order to create the kind of force and steal scenario that Team Wang is looking for, they'll have to layer this guard, whether that's with another tighter guard or with a frozen scenario in the forefoot. That one center guard is not going to be enough.
And we have the second stone from Mackenzie Elias. And tapping ever so slightly Team Wang's rock. And now, I believe, Team Cameron has shot stone. Rory, can you confirm?
Yeah, let's get a look at that from the overhead.
Oh.
Oh, pretty tight.
We can't confirm. I think maybe Team Cameron has shot. Maybe. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would say Team Cameron has the shot stone. Not that it matters at this point. Well, it does to a certain extent, but it surely won't by by the end of this stone, which I believe it's Ziki Dong's first stone, so she's the second of Team Wang.
It's a big rock, this one. If she can put it in a good spot, it's going to do a lot to keep play down this center line for the rest of the end.
Curling a bit, and just, well, now it's in doubt. Without a doubt, Team Cameron has the shot stone.
Just didn't quite curl enough. They were trying to get to the inside edge of that stone, and because they're on the outside, this little shot-for-shot trade for Team Cameron could end up working out. This looks like ice for a hit. A little confused by that.
Yes, that's what Kate Cameron is asking for, the hit.
Might be looking for a nose hit, and just they think that it's going to curl that much.
Well, it could. We've seen hits curl quite a bit here. Brianna Cullen playing this one. Needs to pass by the guard and then curl quite a bit. It does
Here
pass
it
by the
comes.
guard and curls quite a bit. Nose. It's a great
That's really
shot.
nice.
Great
Yeah,
shot
really
by
nice.
Brianna Cullen. And all of a sudden, Team Cullen with 2 rocks on the house, although obviously only one is scoring. Team Wang has 1 stone, but it's beyond the T line. So we'll see what Team Wang is going to try and do here. Are they going to try and hit one of those 2 Team Cameron stones? Looks like they are.
It's like a little tap. This early in the end, it's all about getting your rock in good position at the top of the house. Overall, Team Wang fairly satisfied to keep playing to the center line here. I know Team Cameron's got a good little setup brewing, but Team Wang is A-okay playing this draw tap game down the middle, especially up 1 point.
They
Means
know
they're only 1 shot away from saving the end at any point.
This is curling. Tuma needs to pass the guard. It does. Team Cameron is still shot stone, but now Wang stone is also guarded by that stone on top of the 8. There's sort of a pocket that's forming over there on the button. We'll see what Kate Cameron She's going to ask of Brianna Cullen in her second shot of the sixth end. Asking for a hit. Needs to curl. And it's not curling, it's going to actually help Team Wang here a bit. And now I think it's Team Wang that is shot stone. Yeah.
The most important part of that shot was the shooter. Keeping the shot rock in a good position at the top. Whatever happened to the back stones, that was kind of secondary. Needed to keep that shot stone in a good place. Rolling out was not an option. Now that they've rolled out and rearranged things in a favorable way for Team Wang, that's really an end killer for Team Cameron because they've been playing behind the centerline guard this whole time, which was always risky. And now, instead of making a shot for themselves, they've almost made a shot for their opponent. So it's a total end-killing miss, that miss right there.
And now we'll see what Yu Han, as we go into the backhand stones, will do. So this is going to be a hit on Team Cameron's rock on the 4-footed. And it's a hit and stay. And now Team Wang with 2 stones within the 8-foot.
Like a little bit more of a roll there.
Taylor McDonald preparing to deliver first stone here in the 6th. She's going to try the double, maybe. This would, if this was to, oh, but it's not curling enough. No, now it's, I think the line is good, but not for the double, never. Actually taking out their only other stone in the house. Team Wang still shot stone.
Depends how hard you want to press here, but Team Wang could consider a straight draw to the top 4-foot.
I think they're
And that's-
okay with giving up 1, not more than that. I think they're going to, well, this is Rui Wang's team, so we never know what she's going to come up with. She's taught us that much, so there's a bit of a conference there. Obviously, Chinese, definitely not my second language. Well, not my first. English would be my second. So I can't really help you with what was discussed. But I think she's playing the safe option this time. Going for the hit. You won. He's going to hit Team Cameron's rock on top of the 4th.
This would be the safe call, the traditional
the
call.
8th, sorry. Yeah. Rory, I'm starting to get disappointed at Rui Wang. She's going orthodox on us.
Yeah, it's been at least 25 minutes since something wild has happened. So that's not the regular. Although you had mentioned her previous games this tournament were all blowout wins. So
they were.
Maybe we just haven't had a chance to see her in more tie game scenarios where the true Skip Wang comes out.
Well, whatever is going to happen needs to happen within the next 5 stones. And Team Cameron, at this moment, this is not looking good for them. They need something out of this end. Even the last draw is going to be tough at this moment. They need to start opening up the house. Probably hitting the guard might be a good idea, or at least clearing one of the sides of the house if the guard is not an issue. I think this is what we're about to see. So we see Kate Cameron positioning for a hit on the rock that is sitting on the 4th foot, bottom 4. Taylor McDonald about to throw her second stone of this 610. Some pressure here, Rory.
Most definitely. And this was always going to be the kind of game deciding end for Team Cameron. Once they decided to blank the 5th, you knew the pressure was going to be on in the 6th.
Well, the line looks good. And, well, perfect hit and roll. She accomplished the first objective, which was to remove and clear one of the sides. And the second objective, which was, let's, by the way, if we can hide this stone. And she did. Now, we see, I believe it's Ziki Dong preparing the path there. And we see Yu Han already lining up, holding the broom for Rui Wang. This will be the first skip stone of the 6th end. Playing the draw here. Will she try to freeze this one? The line looks perfect. Wait, also perfect. Good shot. It's get some separation there.
I'm not sure the separation's a good thing.
Yes, Team Cameron gets the second shot still, and well, the path has been established, so Kate Cameron can do the same thing, and that's what she signals, I think. As if doing the same thing is an easy thing, which is not. She will try it. I think she might play with a bit more weight. There's not a lot of ice being given by Taylor McDonald. I think she's just going for the hit, Rory.
Yeah, it certainly looks like ice for a kind of hack weight sort of thing. Let's look at this one from the split view, see how she releases this. I'd be interested to see how she gets to the broom and how they're going to get that much curl at the end.
Some spin, not over the spin. But she didn't
really pushed it
give it
outwards.
She didn't give it all that much weight, as it seems. It
looks really good.
It's looking great. Oh, she's covering the shot, but it does hit. Team Wang's rock almost rolls out, but importantly, the shooter becomes the 3rd stone.
Yeah, I feel like they could have played that a little. I feel like they could have played that a little softer, kept the shooter around. I mean, the objective is to get that Wang stone off of the button. It was overburied. It was a problem. So you got to make sure that you score this end, and that shot goes a long way to ensuring that. Seems like that was the primary objective, was just to remove the red stone.
Now, Rui Wang has the opportunity here to basically sentence Kate Cameron to just score 1. She's going to play the draw again. And I think this will be the second time we see her draw to the button. Well, certainly the second time in the sand, but I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, we don't have access to extensive statistics on this, but I think she's been playing mostly hits.
Yes, and the one
Not a lot
draw
of
we
draws.
saw her, the one draw we saw her attempt in the fifth end, she put it right through the rings basically. So this will be a challenge for her, most definitely.
The line looks good. Needs to curl a bit, and we can see, yeah, the line is perfect. Now, is the weight perfect? Oh, over curls slightly. Again, Team Cameron may try to push that rock ever so slightly and score 2. And, well, yeah, it's pretty much the same shot as before, only a bit deeper.
Seems very makeable.
But the shooter would have to stay.
Yeah, it's interesting that we're seeing the same kind of broom, because you can throw this one with much less weight. All you need is backline weight.
Yeah.
Whereas before we saw more like a bumper weight.
I would expect something with a bit more ice, but hey, Kate, if Kate is comfortable with what is being indicated, so be it. She's the one doing the shot. She should know. There she goes. Last rock out of the 6th end. A hit and then stay for 2, hopefully, for Team Cameron.
They're working this hard. It gets by.
Gets by the guard and hits. Will it stay? No, it does not. So it's just a 1 for Team Cameron. But it was a good effort, Rory.
Most definitely. I just cannot figure out why they threw that much weight. Makes no sense to me at all.
Well, we'll see what happens in the 7th end. Meanwhile, we ask our viewers to hold on, enjoy the commercials, and we'll be right back.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. Let's go. So, we're back. Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Majors out of Beaumont Curling Club. This is the semi-final, and we're watching Wang versus Cameron here on sheet 2. Watching the first stone by Mackenzie Elias, and as we reach the 7th end, this game is tied. So we have 3 points for Team Wang and 3 points for Team Cameron. But, and it's a big but, Team Wang has the hammer. So they can definitely do something in the 7th end, or they can blanket and go to the 8th with a hammer. And off air, we were talking about the last decision by Kate Cameron. And again, the 6th end ended with an attempt of a hit, and where the shooter would have had to stick in order for Team Cameron to score 2. Ultimately, the shooter didn't stick, and they've only scored 1. And Rory, you were saying that you found that a bit odd, and I retorted with saying that Team Cameron has been playing a lot of games, and this is their second back-to-back.
Yeah, that's a normal part of Championship Sunday, but yeah, it is a lot of games back to back, and they didn't qualify through the A, so they've had to play quite a few more games. But it was just a little odd to me that they had to move that rock about a foot, yet Kate threw a heavy hack, maybe even board weight kind of shot. I understand making sure, but they got by the guard by hardly a centimeter. We watched that sweep. They were pounding that thing, and it just barely got by the guard. Yet, when it entered the area, the target area where it needed to contact the stone, it rolled right out of the 8-foot. It didn't have a chance of sticking around to score. So clearly that was just thrown much too hard. And I just couldn't figure out why they wouldn't take more ice, throw less weight, and make sure that their rock had a good chance of removing the opponent's stone and sticking around for 2. It was a bit of a head scratcher for me.
Well, they can still win this, so 3-3. Never know.
Oh, for sure.
Everything to play.
Scoring 1 point in the 6th end, that's objective number 1. Yeah, just something I couldn't quite figure out. Maybe it could be explained. Hey, you viewers who are watching on YouTube in the chat, maybe we're missing something, and share your thoughts on why that much weight was selected for that shot. And are we going to see a no tick?
Yeah, we'll be happy to look at the comments a bit if you have something to add.
Yes, most definitely.
And after the 4 first stones have been thrown in this 7th end, we've just watched Yin Yang throw her second. Right now, Team Wang is shot stone. And we're looking at Brianna Cullen throwing her first. Trying to come around the guard, but it's too light. So that's a second guard. Maybe Team Cameron looking to steal here, Rory.
Well, a steal and a force are basically the same setup, so it's that center line guard and 4-foot battle.
So we'll be watching Ziki Dong, your favorite athlete here tonight. Well, tonight for me, today for you. It's afternoon there. And Team Wang starting to clear the guards. Team Cameron with everything to play for here. They're going to try the hit and roll, so it seems. At least that's what's being asked of Brianna Cullen.
The guards are in quite a good position for Team Cameron. They're slightly overlapped. I mean, they're a little close together, but this is a situation. As long as they keep making their shots, they're gonna force Team Wang into play down the middle.
Well, and I was completely off on this one, Rory. Brianna was just drawing to go behind the guards.
Yeah. Just missed wide, and it's going to raise the stakes a little bit, because if Team Wang can keep hitting these and rolling to the wing, I think Team Cameron is so invested in their center guards that they're going to have to keep on plugging it. So the stakes get higher and higher.
And here we go. Second stone for Ziki Dong. And this, I think, it's going to be a hit. The weight is there. The line looks good. Hit, but doesn't roll, it stays. So it gives Taylor McDonald the opportunity to hit and roll behind their guards.
Yeah, most definitely. This is an opportunity for Team Cameron. Bring that play back to the center guards. If they can get a good roll here, that's going to do a lot to continue ignoring those Wang stones on the wing, bringing play back to the middle.
And the line, it needs to curl a lot, Rory. Needs to curl. It's starting to curl. Will it curl enough?
It's a little flat.
More or less.
Not quite enough. You know, it's going to make the next hit more challenging, but oh, wow.
It's pretty good. Well, we'll see.
This is a huge decision from Team Wang. The
Oh.
hit and roll was very available, the exact same one they just attempted.
Oh.
And it looks...
Well, they were listening to you, Rory.
So I think we've seen this a couple times. The skip is very aggressive-minded. She's always looking at the optimal thing, and this is at least the third or fourth time this has happened. Her team at the other end have kind of talked her out of the more aggressive call.
Oh.
Or have they? She may insist. She is insisting.
She insists, yeah.
The reward for this, if you can get all three of these yellows out of the field of play, the reward is enormous.
There she goes. Yuhan throwing her first stone here in the 7th. Hoping to clear the guards. And the guards are cleared. But, and they also clear their own stone out of the house. And now Team Cameron is sitting too.
It's a massive disaster. So the risk reward there was just so exponentially high. It's wildly entertaining curling, but I just don't really see how that was going to pay off. If you would have kept stacking stones on the wing, Kate Cameron's team would have no choice really but to keep coming around the center guards. And if you ever got a mistake out of them, it was going to be a 2 or 3 or maybe even more point end for Team Wang. Taking on that triple peel really increased the chances of a blank, but you had to make it. And since you didn't, this is now looking very much like a force or steal for Team Cameron. Lots of rocks to come, though.
Yeah, they still have the front of the house pretty much cleared. So the force is very much in play. For Team Wang, well, force less than ideal. But they can also force Team Cameron in the 8. And they've been successful at that. Well, both teams have. And Team Cameron here replaces the guard. So that was Taylor McDonald's last stone in the 7th. Now we'll be seeing Yuhan's last stone here in the 7th as well. So what will Rui Wang ask out of Yuhan? She's going to try the run back. Oh my.
Well, at this point, I think this is the obvious call. They're both on the center line. They're both enemy stones. Got to get rid of them.
Well,
this one makes sense to me.
We'll see if it works. And Wuhan delivering her last stone here in the 7th. And she hits one, not the other.
Lets them off the hook. Team Cameron's their guard came deep, set up that double.
And Kate Cameron will have the opportunity to do that again. With
my apologies. I had one too many rocks for each team. I had lost count.
Now this is the beginning of the skip stones. Don't worry, Rory. So Kate Cameron throwing her first here in the 7th. I think hopefully. Repositioning the guard. Well, not so much repositioning it as replacing it. Putting it there, actually. Line looks good. The weight may be a bit heavy. Then again, maybe this is Kate Cameron's preference to have a deeper guard.
Yeah, we've seen throughout the game that, you know, unless the guard is tight to the rings, it's not actually going to protect the shot stone. But the cost of this, she's come up a little short, or I guess a little outside. It is going to expose that stone.
It gives Rui Wang an option here from the right side of the house. However, this comes with an added difficulty, which is we haven't seen any of the teams go through the right side. So maybe that weight control there and line control would not be optimal. And she does need a good shot here and to have the shooter stay.
Now, credit to Kate Cameron, she had to protect the double. So to leave the guard on the left side, not so bad. And of course, once Wang makes their shots, there will be a corresponding hit for Team Cameron, and it's still going to look very much like a force if she can make it.
Let's see, controlling the weight and the line. The line looks good. It's going to hit. Passes the guard. Hits. Rolls to the side of the 8. So Team Cameron has a hit and possibly a roll to still lie 2.
It's a really good shot. It's a great spot because no matter where Kate Cameron rolls, it's not going to be much of a danger to the Wang team. They're going to have a shot for one no matter what.
Yeah. Last stone for Kate Cameron here in the 7th. All tied. So we're looking for the decisions to be made within these next 2 ends. She gets ready to throw her last stone here. Playing a hit. Needs to curl a bit. Trying to get the nose hit. Well, does roll a bit, not too much. So, well, I think Rui Wang has a hit for 1. She can also draw.
Well, if we take a look.
Or she can do what she's planning to do.
I would expect nothing else.
Well, it's there.
Well, you want the double she attempted and almost made in the second end or fourth end?
It
was the second end was tougher than this, and she basically made it. Just quite didn't push it far enough to get her 2 points, but this is not as sharp of an angle, and the rocks are about the same distance apart, so why not? Well, actually, I could think of a lot of reasons why not, but in her mind, why not?
Well, why not entertain us? That's why we like games. So, hey, good on you, Rui Wang. Let's go.
Yeah. Incredible.
I don't know if this is the team that will be representing China at the PCCCs. But if they are, that's one team to follow. And the die is cast. So will it curl enough? It won't. So it's 1 for Team Wang, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, but we might have a measure. No, I think it's definitely 1.
It is. It's closer than they would like it to be.
Yeah. The nose hit was enough. They're assessing, but I think it's, unless the camera is deceiving me, it's clearly a 1. Still, Team Cameron will have hammer in the 8th, and if they score a deuce, they might just win this. So that's something to look for in the 8th end, while we go for a bit of commercials, and we'll be right back.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Calling all curlers, novice to pro. Ashland Curling Supply's patented rotator disc system lets you customize your slider right in the store. Velcro attachments make it easy to find the sliding platform that's right for you. Shop Ashland Curling Supplies, 700 McPhillips, online at ashland.com.
Okay, we're back. So, welcome back to the decisions of this Wang versus Cameron semi-final of the Hack2House Alberta Curling Series Women's Majors out of Beaumont Curling Club. And as we enter the 8th end, Team Wang is in the lead, but not by much, just 1 point is everything that separates Team Wang from Team Cameron. However, Team Cameron has the hammer for this 8th end, and they will want to score 2 and take this home. Well, on the other side, Team Wang will definitely won't enjoy that and will try everything to force an extra end where they would have hammer. So, Rory, we have everything to look for in this 8th end.
Yeah, it's the situation we've been kind of seeing all game. No one has been able to jump out to a 2-point lead as of yet.
It's a very close game. And we're watching Yin Yang throw her second stone here.
Well, it's Team Wang's closest game by far of the tournament.
Oh, absolutely. Against Hartwell, they won 7-3. Yoshimura, 9-3. Silver Nagel, 8-2. So, yeah. This score, well, speaks loads about the quality of both teams. They've kept it close.
Yeah, those are tough opponents as well. Silver Nagel being one of the top consistent teams year in, year out in the prairies. Yoshimura, without a doubt, a top 3 team in Japan and Asia Pacific in general. So, not weak opponents that they're smoking here. These are top quality teams. So, Cameron
Absolutely.
holding in.
This also speaks loads about Canada's quality overall. Not that it is a secret to anyone. Well, let's just say that I wish we had a few teams like this where I'm coming from.
Oh,
It
one
would
day.
be nice.
One day, Johan.
Well, who knows? Maybe in a few years we'll have some ice over here. And then, Rory, you can come over, curl, and then in the afternoon you go and hit the beach.
Oof. Say no more. That's a Canadian's dream. You've narrated. my wish.
That's it. That's the goal. And all of our Canadian viewers are welcome to come.
Hear that, gang? It's an open invite.
And we're moving on to Zikidong, the second of this Wang team. Let's see. So right now, Team Cameron has the shot stone. It's buried deep. It's on the bottom of the 8. But Team Wang controls the front of the house. And this one is going straight to freeze. And it's a great shot by Zikidong. Great draw. I would say it's almost a perfect freeze. I think there's, what, 1 centimeter or 2 of separation, Rory? Can't really tell.
It's a really good freeze, and especially the team without hammer, that's going to make it really hard to score too in that tight area. So Kate not peeling says a lot about what she thinks she has to do this end. It's 2 or bust for Kate Cameron.
Yes.
Earlier this week, I was covering a Kate Cameron game. She had a fairly makeable shot for 1 to go to an extra end, or a 15-foot run back for 2 that she had to stick right on the nose. She chose the run back. She banged it right on the nose, and with a big fist pump, gained the victory. So she is not afraid of the big shot to win the game in the 8th end.
Well, we'll have to wait until the end of this end to see if she has to pull such a shot. Well, I would suspect that Cameron, Kate Cameron, would prefer not to have an exciting shot to end this game. Boring 2 would do. And
that
this
is not going to help.
Yeah, not going to help, but it was fairly close. Still, Team Wang has the shot stone. And we're
More
going
importantly,
to be seeing... Yeah, go.
More importantly, as we've seen before in the game, freezing to 1 rock, quite difficult. When there's 2 rocks side by side, it makes that target area so much larger, so much more makeable. And if Team Wang can weld one in here, it's going to make Kate Cameron's job very, very difficult.
And this is Zikidong's second stone, and she just needs to repeat what she did with the first. It's the same path, and if she does, she will be covering the button, and that will spell a bit of doom to Team Cameron. But this rock is a bit heavy. Needs to stop. It does. That's now very, very tough for Team Cameron to come out of this situation, but we never know. This is curling. Everything can happen.
The only complaint is that did come just a little bit deep. If that rock settles half a rock higher, you could see Team Wang tapping the top of the button was the ideal spot. It's now going to make it so if Team Cameron can get shot rock here, it's going to be very difficult to remove, and it'll at least give them a good chance of going to an extra end.
It needs to curl from Brianna Cullen. And it's curling. It's curling. Wait. Ooh, maybe. Maybe. And I think they're shot.
I think it's perfect.
I think they're shot.
There's enough rocks left in the game, or in this end, for that to rearrange and Kate Cameron to reopen the button and 4-foot scoring area. That's a massive shot.
Great shot by Brianna Cullen. And now we go into the back end of this 8th end. Yu Han throwing her first. And she needs to slightly move things inside the button. That is the goal. Right now, Team Cameron shot stone. And we're seeing this come in. A lot of rushing. Touches it slightly. Rory, this is almost a mixed doubles end. Every shot being drawn almost to within the 4th foot. And now we're going to see Kate Cameron try something different. He's going with an angle.
You know, I did have myself muted for the last 30 seconds, I will admit. The 2 perfect shots in a row. First by Cameron's team, then by Wang's team. Really impressive.
These two teams are raising the bar. Oh, and nice move here by Taylor McDonald. It might, well, scoring 2 will be hard, but it's not impossible yet. And
Unless there's a major... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that I think this is a timeout.
It is. They started to make some taps, and then the front end noticed that the coach was signaling for a timeout, so they call a timeout. This has extras written all over it. It's going to take a major miss from either team to change anything about this. Those rocks are just so glued together. Team Wang will consistently try to defend this scenario, and Team Cameron will do most of what they can to try and rearrange things on the button without causing too much risk, because you don't want to try too hard to rearrange things back there, because Team Wang could very easily steal the game with a point. So both teams are almost content with sort of just letting this situation continue. No one's really going to get rewarded for making an aggressive play and changing much about this. So I think we're going to see both teams really just play tentatively and maintain this status quo.
Yeah, well, Team Wang with hammer, they've been able to capitalize on it, at least score every time they had it. So they'll be looking just to have Team Cameron take the 1, go into extras. But still 3 rocks to be played by each team. We never know. We've seen Skip Rui Wang doing some crazy calls, so maybe we'll see something like that. Try to win it here. We'll see. Right now we're seeing Rui Wang asking for a draw.
Yeah, layer the center guard, kind of overlap this current situation. Wang is super happy to take this to an extra end. And the work isn't that hard to get there. I don't really even think you need to touch anything here. Just a rock in the top 12, top 8. But we're seeing something much heavier come down the sheet.
Yeah, the weight is a bit heavier. A bit heavy. Passes. And is it going to stop at all? It does. It does touch their own stone.
Juan, it's a wasted shot. There's not much more I can say about that. It did no positive and almost did a bit of negative. It was really not what they needed.
Well, you might be right there, Rory. Well, and now maybe this is the time where we'll see Team Cameron take their timeout. One thing it did is it left Team Cameron's shot rock without a backing. So it's movable from here on out. And I think we'll be seeing Team Cameron trying to open up those 2 rocks in the back, maybe trying to get something there. You see Kate Cameron pointing to them.
Yep, this all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Team Cameron has a very real chance to create good angles in the forefoot and win this game here in the 8th, which is, of course, their preference.
And Taylor McDonald with her last stone of the 8th. Could be the last stone of her game.
It is absolutely critical to keep this shooter in a usable position in the top
but
4.
It's curling a bit too much. I think it's going, yeah, and it hits the Wang stone on the top 4, but it sticks around. So, again, Team Cameron
not
still shot. Not super terrible, but...
Well, it's not terrible, but it makes me question, once again, why throw that much weight?
And I think the shot stone is now attackable.
Just barely, just barely.
Doesn't need to be much. They can just tap it. Small tap might do it.
I think more.
They want the double again. Is it?
They're very hungry for doubles, this team. As soon as they see 2 rocks side by side, their first instinct is double. No, I think if you where the third had her broom just kind of on the center line, top 8, that's a safe place to put a rock. It's a very makeable shot. Not a lot of ways to screw it up. Of course, a very perfect spot would be corner frozen on the button, but that's a really tough spot to get to. I think right where they're tapping their brooms, that kind of top 8 center line area, that's going to be a really good result.
We'll see. Well, again, some discussion taking place within Team Wang. And interesting to see that it's a 3-way discussion. So who are they leaving out? Oh no, all 4 of them are there. Okay. And we're going into skip stones here in the 8th. Everything to play for. Still any team's game. Plenty of time that Team Wang is spending here on discussing these upcoming 2 shots. Interesting to see that pretty much everyone in Team Cameron is just sitting back there, trying to probably decipher what is on Rui Wang's mind. A lot of time spent discussing this shot. Finally, we see Rui Wang heading to the delivery zone. We'll be seeing her set up at the hacks. There we go.
Very exciting finish we have here today in this game. Perfectly fitting for a semifinal of such a high quality event as the Hack2House Alberta Stadium Curling Series.
We'll see who gets to win this one today. Later today, actually. For now, everything to play for in the semifinal. And Rory, I was checking the list of champions and I realized that this lady, Yu Han, was the winning skip last year.
That's very impressive, and they went undefeated this year so far.
So maybe she's hoping to repeat that title. And we say this as we see Rui Wang stone slowly heading inside the house.
This is
Very slowly. Does it pass the guard? No, it does not.
they got very lucky there.
It blocks the road. So Team Cameron will have to do something different to try to get there too.
Really lucky that that stone ticked the center guard. It was very close to getting around and just completely over curling. Instead, gets a little tick and ends up in a really good spot.
They can still try something with the last stone.
Well, there's enough curl in the ice that Kate Cameron can put her rock right in the forefoot. It's score of 2 is still very much alive here.
First stone for Kate Cameron. And she goes. She's going to try to pass through that gap.
She gave it quite a flip outside. They'll need this to move a lot in order to get through the hole.
Oh, needs to curl. Needs to curl. Let's see where. And, well, it does
extremely
pass, but
heavy.
it's very heavy. It passes right by the gap. It was as if, well, the line was perfect. The weight was less so. And
It was not even. It's not even close, John. That was a completely failed attempt, and it's a really important miss that could have lied too and forced Wang into an extremely tough shot. Kate Cameron perhaps wouldn't have even had to throw her last rock, but instead she puts it right through the rings. I bet that would have went right to the hack had nothing stopped it. So, not a good miss. Not using your sweepers, that hurts, and because of it, Team Wang is going to look at locking things away, forcing an extra end.
And they'll have an opportunity to do something here. Last stone for Team Wang in this 8th end coming up.
I cannot believe, I'm sorry, Juan, I cannot restrain myself. I can't believe they're looking at a hit. I can't believe that they're even thinking of opening up that draw path for Kate Cameron to throw the exact same shot again. If this has any weight on it whatsoever, I'm going to be in complete shock.
Well, Rory, we're in for a show. Rui Wang wants to give us an exciting final stone here in the 8th. Thank you, Rui.
My goodness.
She's going to try it.
I think she needs to adopt the Alberta Stetson hat and wear a cowboy hat for her next game she plays, because she is a gunslinger. She's got caution, throws caution to the wind, and just does whatever she thinks is going to maximize her positioning.
There she goes. Well,
oh my goodness.
Is the line good? That's the question.
It is not. She ticks the guard. She completely opens up the draw path, and that
now,
is a massive, massive error.
And now this gives Team Cameron the opportunity to win it here.
She's going to have to take about 10 feet off her last one.
We'll see. It's not an easy draw by any means, but it is a possible draw. Yeah, go, Rory, go.
The line ends up being pretty important, right? Like, they do need to get a full inch into the button, so it's not an easy draw at all. But that guard being removed made it that much easier.
It became possible, I would say. Whilst few seconds before, it was borderline impossible. And Kate Cameron throws the last rock here in the 8th. Hopefully, for her, a draw for 2.
The line looks really good.
The line is good.
It's up to the sweepers
now.
now.
Good. The weight is good. Will we see celebration? We will.
Unreal.
It's 2 points for Kate Cameron and Team Cameron, and they take the win. A massive, massive error of call by Rui Wang. prevents them from going into the extra end, and where they would, who knows, potentially win it. Kate Cameron is not unhappy at all with this. She gets the win. Rory, what a game.
Joanne, I'm overstimulated. I'm standing up at my desk right now. That was a bananas finish. Credit to Kate Cameron for skating down, getting in the hack, making the necessary correction, and giving her sweepers a rock that they could work with. That was all sweeping. They managed line, they managed weight. The team communicated. It's a well-deserved win for Kate Cameron, but what an entertaining game. I'm gonna have to circle that Chinese team, Wang. I will not be missing a game for the rest of the season. You got to watch this skip operate back there. It's incredible.
Well, and I guess that concludes things here. So Team Cameron takes the win. Final result is 4-5. So, and correct me if I'm wrong on that, Rory. And this means that Team Cameron are in the finals.
Absolutely. They'll have a short break and they'll be right back out.
Oh.
You can catch that game here on Curling Zone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Joanne, it was great to meet you. And anytime, brother, I'd love to hop on another game with you again sometime soon.
Well, it's a pleasure to commentate here as well, and to do it in a second language. Bit trickier, but fun. So I'll see you. I think I'll be doing the next one as well. So
Yes,
I'll
you
see
will.
you, Rory, and I'll see you, viewers, in a few minutes, half an hour. I don't know. We'll see.
Something like that.
Something like that. Bye for now.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.